guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm just out here super early. I think it's 6 something, almost 7 a.m. on Sunday, August 23rd. Today I was inspired to make a video because it's actually a special day for me. Today, about 10-11 years ago, I think I was around 23. I was in a serious car accident where a drunk driver actually hit me. So I usually celebrate on the actual day. I just celebrate life because I'm so grateful to actually be here. And I just wanted to share the story with you guys and just share how grateful I actually am, and kind of like just share the story with anybody else out there that may have had a turning point in their life where something like that has actually happened, and then it actually puts you on a completely different path, because obviously something like that just flips your life upside down. So my friend came to pick me up around 8 or 9 o'clock that night. We were going to Red Lobster, and we were actually going to take my friend's car, but chose to take my car instead. I was taking the back road 724. People just fly on that road usually. It was dark. It's getting pretty later in the night. I just remember getting to this one spot that I always know cops to sit at, and it was a yellow light, because this is the spot where the cops always are sitting. I just slowed down and stopped. I was sitting there talking to my friend or whatever, and I remember looking in my rearview mirror, just seeing the actual headlights, like way back in the distance. And I felt like what was 2 seconds later, I looked up back into my rearview mirror, I just saw blinding lights, and that was it. Like, just as I was looking was when the car was actually hitting me. And it wasn't actually a car, it was actually a truck. From my recollection, all I remember is that happening, and then it was literally like slow motion, like in a movie. And I've never seen anything like that in my life, but it felt like someone hit me in the back of the head with a baseball bat first. That was like with the impact. And it did feel like we were actually moving. I didn't find out till after, during the court hearing, I believe it was like a year later, or I don't know how long later, that they actually did hit us so hard that it pushed us out into the middle of the street. So we actually did move. And my car was stopped, but still on. So I don't even remember like turning my car off. All I remember is just glass literally flying past me in like slow motion. Me just thinking like, no, this can't be it. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go. That's all I remember thinking. You know, a lot of people say that thing like where life flashes before your eyes. You didn't see your whole life played out in front of you, but that instant actually flashed before your eyes, and everything you were doing that day and that night and all the people you cared about. And it was more so I was worrying about other people at that moment more than myself. It felt kind of like being in a movie. I can't even explain it. The impact, everything moving, almost feeling like you're going through like a time warp or something. Maybe because of the impact and the moving of the car. I don't know. Everything was just going so slow. It was like in a different time zone, it felt like. And then all I know is when things finally stopped, I think I said something during the moment, and then after that I felt like I didn't have a voice, or like I couldn't speak, which made me feel like maybe I wasn't able to, or something like that bad had happened to me that I didn't have a voice. And I remember when I finally felt like I could speak or scream or do anything, I did at like the top of my lungs, like, thank God that I'm still here. And of course I cursed a little. My friend actually hopped out of the car right away and started to chase the car that hit me, because the truck, actually, it was like a GMC truck or something. It hit the back of my car so hard that it actually went into my trunk, and then they proceeded to try to pulled out of my trunk, out of my car pretty much, and then tried to take off, and actually did take off. So it was a hit and run. And I found out later at that court hearing that some great person, said that he was sitting at the other opposite light and saw it happen, and that he felt like if that was his family, he had to do, the same for a stranger, which is amazing, and actually went after this dude and got their license plate. Apparently, the people were trying to get away, doing like 100 and some with the whole GMC truck smashed up, smoking all over the place. They actually did get away for a few days and scrapped the car or the truck for parts. So they really were trying to get away. Eventually they were caught, but that was crazy. And like I said, when everything finally stopped and I screamed like, thank God, I do remember people running over to the car. It seemed like my side of the car got most of the impact. I just remember people coming over, trying to open the door. They couldn't get the door open. When the impact, I remember me flying around, like my legs hitting the dashboard, things like that, just like I was like nothing. After that, the people came to the door. They said, don't move. People in the area that had heard the impact came running out. And I remember looking to my right, like the light from the car was like hanging next to my face. I didn't even see the car. Besides that, I saw the light hanging, and by the time, the ambulance came, they would not allow me to get out of the car. I remember people just asking my name, who they could call. They pulled me literally out of the car onto the stretcher. I was pretty scared at that time. I didn't know if something really bad had happened to me, and that's why people were telling me not to move. Did they see something that I didn't? Because I was like disoriented. I didn't know, was I going to be okay? Was something wrong with my head, my brain? I remember getting hit so hard in the head. So they pulled me in the stretcher, pulled me in the ambulance, put those things on your chest. They're monitoring me, took me to the hospital. They had me laying on a stretcher for most of the time. I remember my sister freaking out because she actually went to the scene first and saw the car, and she was really scared because it was demolished. They actually pushed my back seats into my front seats. I had a bunch of junk in my car, like laundry, crap like that. And then I had like a huge JBL speaker in the back with like a box and everything. Completely smashed that. The metal from the trunk went in so far that it pushed the back seats up almost into the front seats. So it's pretty crazy. The trunk was so compacted and like crushed, it actually crushed into my back tires. Even if my car were to be running and go, my tires in the back were completely flattened from where the metal was crushed. And my sister came to the hospital. She was grateful that I was okay, and she was like, you got glitter all over you. And I was like, that's not glitter, it's glass. I had glass all over my body. And I even had on, like, when they pulled me out on the stretcher, this is the great part of the story, I had on like these short little ass shorts and this like little yellow top. I was like really embarrassed. The guys pulling me out onto the stretcher, like, oh my God, why did I have to? And actually I didn't have socks and shoes on. I had on these bright yellow pumps to match the yellow shirt. So I had on bright yellow high heels, little jean shorts, and a little yellow top. That's what I had on. And I was like, this is the day I chose to wear this, get in an accident, and be pulled out onto a stretcher. Anyway, laying on a stretcher like that in yellow high heels, and the nurses and everyone were making quite a joke on my matching outfit and my yellow high heels. It was pretty funny, I guess. Trying to make light of the situation at the time. I laid on that stretcher for a long time, and then finally they took me off for a little while. They put a neck brace on me and sent me home. And I had about, I think it was like 6 months of physical therapy. So I was out of work for quite some time on disability, and it was hard. I remember the first night, even the slightest noise made me like jump out of my skin. And then I happened to live in a place where there was a lot of accidents at this one intersection. And so I would be home all day, bored out of my mind doing puzzles and stuff because I couldn't really do a whole lot. I would hear these impacts or just like the screech of the brakes, and I'd be like, oh, I'd just be bracing for the impact. Oh my God, it would just be like terror. Like it would be just like torture. Just be torturing me every day, remembering the accident. And I didn't drive for a while, one because of my back, and two because I was just not ready to. People were taking me from here to there where I needed to go, physical therapy and that kind of thing. I had some intense physical therapy for about 6 months. Thankfully, I didn't have any broken bones. I did have some minimum scarring and bruising. My back was really messed up for quite some time, and I still have issues. The headaches, I get headaches pretty bad every now and then, and migraines and stuff. So there's still things that I'm suffering from the actual accident. And then still just a little bit of fear and being very, very cautious of my surroundings more than ever, you know. That's kind of my crazy story. One part of the story that was really weird was the day of the court hearing. These other people actually showed up there for something totally different, and they looked just like the woman and the man that helped me that night. I went up to them and I said I had thanked the guy that chased the guy that hit me, and I went to thank them as well, and they were like, what? We're not here for your hearing. But I swear, I usually remember a face pretty well, and I'm almost 100% sure that was them, and they just didn't remember me, and they just happened to be there the same day of my court hearing for something else. It was kind of weird. I was like kind of dumbfounded, like, wait, what? And they just acted like they didn't know me. It was kind of like a long time after the accident. I was like, that's kind of weird. It's just super weird. I'm just super grateful that I'm still alive, that I'm still able to go to Red Lobster, them cheddar biscuits. Just hope that inspires some of you guys out there. Just be a lot more grateful for your life, because you never know. I'm really just sitting here thinking that's about 10 or 11 years ago. 10 or 11 years that I wouldn't have lived on this earth. So much things that I actually ended up doing. That accident actually wound up putting me on the path of audio engineering and doing some things with my talents and my dreams and all the things I really wanted to do. So although it seemed crazy at the time, like tragic, flipping my life upside down, it actually did lead me to a good path. And I'm just so grateful for my life, for this day, and that I'm still here on this August 23rd. I would love to say that at the moment I was like, I almost lost my life, and so let me completely change my life around. That's not really how it happened. I actually tried to go back to work and just move on with my life. It didn't quite work that way. Then I wind up actually going to school for audio engineering. Like I said, it actually ended up leading me down a great path of what I actually wanted to do. I was really depressed. I didn't know where I was going, but it made me really think. I had a lot of time to think about what I really wanted from my life. I can say that it definitely made me think more about what I wanted from my life at that age, thinking like, damn, I might not have made it, and all the things I would have missed and not been able to accomplish. Oh man, I had a Nissan. It was like a 93 or something like that, but I loved it. I loved it so much. Oh, it was just like all black with a silver trim. It gave me a lot of problems before the accident, but I didn't care. I just loved that car. And I kept saying I was going to ride it till the wheels fell off, and I wound up doing that. So I did miss that car after that. That really did suck. Me and my friend were okay. We made it out of the accident okay, which was great. That was a blessing. And just anybody out there, before you take a drink and drive, just really reconsider taking that drive. Get someone else to pick you up. Call an Uber, get a friend to take you. Just try to think of my story. Imagine that could be your mom, your sister out there. That you hit someone and you can change someone's life. They actually could have killed me, and I believe they thought they probably did, and that's why they tried to take off. You could really kill someone, take someone's life, and change someone's whole life, and that really did change and affect my life, and I'm still living with some of the effects from. Just think twice before you take a drink and a drive, okay? I've been through a lot, and I didn't allow that to stop me from following my path and my dreams. Sometimes something like that flips your whole life upside down, can actually open a door to something greater, and so you never know. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others. Hopefully you can inspire someone else or someone who drinks and drives. Share this video with them so maybe they won't drink and drive. Just share this video, guys. Share this video with your friends and family. Make them more aware of the effects are of drinking and driving and what can happen. Comment if you've been in an accident before. You can also share your stories in the comments. I would love to hear any of your stories below. And make sure you subscribe so you can be up to date on all my new videos, which I will be doing more consistently. I got lucky that I'm still here today to make this video for you guys. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't have been able to do so many things. I've actually been to Colorado, Honolulu, Jamaica, Bahamas. I've been everywhere, and I just think about all the places and all the things that I wouldn't have been able to accomplish, all the people I've met, all the friends, all the family, all the love, all the good times. That's what I'm really grateful for today, guys, and I'm just out here enjoying a little nature, making this video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day, guys.